There is a part of you that rarely speaks, yet shapes your life in subtle, undeniable ways. It hides in the shadows of your mind, in impulses you deny, fears you avoid, in desires you suppress. Most people run from it, distract themselves, or pretend it doesn't exist. But the shadow self is not your enemy. It is the gatekeeper of your freedom. This guide is an invitation to meet the parts of yourself you have avoided, to confront the unseen forces that influence your thoughts, emotions, and actions. To understand the shadow is to reclaim the pieces of your life that have been unconsciously controlled, and in doing so, step into a freedom that is authentic, whole, and enduring. Part 1. The Mirror. Within every human psyche holds a hidden landscape, the shadow. It is composed of suppressed fears, unresolved trauma, and denied impulses. This is not a foreign entity, but a reflection of the parts of yourself you refuse to see. The shadow tests you not to punish, but to awaken you. To confront it, you must accept that your consciousness is incomplete. Many of your decisions, emotions, and behaviors are driven by unconscious forces. The shadow carries the elements of your psyche that society, morality, or shame have made taboo. Denial does not erase it. It only amplifies its influence, often in ways that sabotage your life. True freedom begins when you face what you have hidden. Part 2. The nature of the test. The shadow tests you in subtle and overt ways. Recurring patterns of self-sabotage, irrational fears, compulsions, or intense emotional reactions to others. These moments are not coincidences. They are signals, mirrors reflecting disowned parts of yourself. When someone triggers a strong emotional response, consider, what am I projecting? Recognizing projection is the first test. Equally important is noticing resistance, the urge to avoid introspection, distract yourself, or justify evasion. These are not weaknesses. They are invitations to courage. Freedom demands the bravery to face yourself without flinching. Part 3. Fear as a teacher. Fear is the shadow's most potent tool. It appears as anxiety, doubt, guilt, or shame, and it signals unintegrated aspects of your psyche demanding attention. Instead of fleeing, ask, what am I truly afraid of? Within that fear lies insight, a suppressed desire, a denied impulse, or a moral conflict. Confronting fear is not only an act of courage, but an act of liberation. Every encounter with fear diminishes its unconscious control and expands your capacity for conscious choice. Part 4. Desire and resistance. Desire is equally entwined with the shadow. Some desires may be socially unacceptable or seem irrational, yet they are part of your psychic whole. When repressed, these desires return as compulsions, projections, or destructive behaviors. The test is twofold. Recognize desire without being consumed and integrate it responsibly. Resistance manifests as procrastination, self-criticism, or avoidance. Each act of resistance is an opportunity for reflection. Why do I resist this part of myself? What am I afraid will happen if I accept it? True freedom emerges not from eliminating desire, but from engaging consciously with it. Part 5. Integration, not eradication. The goal is not to destroy the shadow, but to integrate it. It is a source of energy, insight, and creativity. Integration begins with observation. Notice recurring thoughts, impulses, and reactions without judgment. Reflect on their origins and consider how they might serve you if consciously recognized. Through this process, inner conflict becomes inner wholeness. The shadow transforms from a limiting force into a wellspring of personal growth and freedom. Part 6. The shadow and freedom. Many misunderstand freedom as the absence of restriction. True freedom is acting in alignment with your whole consciousness, unshackled by the unacknowledged influence of the unconscious. The shadow tests you because it guards the gateway to this freedom. When you face fear without fleeing, acknowledge desire without being enslaved, and observe impulses without judgment, you reclaim fragmented parts of yourself. The paradox: what seems like limitation is in fact liberation in disguise. Part 7. The dance of consciousness and shadow. Engaging the shadow is an ongoing dance between consciousness and unconsciousness, light and dark. Every challenge, temptation, or destabilization is not an attack, but an invitation. Your response determines whether you continue fragmented or move toward wholeness. The shadow is not static. It evolves with you, offering new lessons at every stage of life. Awareness transforms challenges into stepping stones for growth. Part 8. Cultivating awareness. Awareness is your most powerful ally. Without it, the shadow operates unconsciously, limiting freedom. Cultivate mindfulness, reflection, and honest self-inquiry. Track emotional triggers, recurring patterns, and unexplained behaviors. Ask, what am I refusing to see? Practical methods include journaling, meditation, and conscious reflection. Each act of awareness reduces the shadow's unconscious control and strengthens conscious choice. Freedom grows in proportion to self-awareness. Part 9. Embracing the whole self. To embrace the shadow is to embrace yourself fully, both light and darkness. Denying one diminishes the other. Integration builds resilience, creativity, and authentic expression. The integrated self is not flawless. It is aware, responsive, and conscious. It navigates life with understanding, using struggle as a path to conscious liberation. Part X. The freedom beyond fear. The shadow is a guide, teacher, and guardian. It tests you because it holds the key to living consciously with intentionality and power. The journey is never complete. New shadows, tests, and opportunities for integration arise with every stage of life. Through engagement, reflection, and conscious choice, the shadow becomes the threshold to your freedom, not the obstacle. Undiscovered self. Confrontation is not optional. It is essential. Courage, awareness, and integration transform fear into insight, desire into direction, and resistance into empowerment. The paradox is profound. The shadow, which seems to limit you, enables transcendence. To engage with it consciously is to step into freedom. To ignore it is to remain bound. Embrace your shadow. Face the tests. Claim the freedom waiting within you.